I don't think I've felt this weird about a loss ever, maybe. And I don't know if many fellow City fans feel like that because obviously, one hand, you've got the very, very disappointed feeling of just lost 3-1. There's a growing list of really poor away performance. That's another one. A really disappointing result. Uh, Ended Luton 3, Bristol City 1. We'll talk about that in a minute at Kenilworth Road. However, Coventry have lost, Middlesbrough have lost, West Brom have lost, Millwall are the only sides who have won, and they're now the gap between us and Millwall is 4 points because they're level on points with Middlesbrough. So, kind of, I feel very disappointed on that performance, and we could have wrapped it up. We could have confirmed the top 6 finish today if we'd gone to Luton and got the 3 points. We've come away with nothing, and yet I feel a sense of we're one step closer and a little bit of a we've got through that sort of relatively unscathed, even though we've lost the game. Weird, 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 weird. This was the team. We'll talk about the game now. It was Max O'Leary in goal. Zach Viner, Rob Dickey, Cam Pring was the back three. George Tanner, Marcus McGuane, Jason Knight, Ross McCrory, Anis Mehmeti, Max Bird, and Naki Wells. When you go to Luton, especially this season, yeah, okay, they're not playing well. You expect a bit of quality because they are a very good side. They're massively underperforming. They've picked up a little recently under Matt Bloomfield. They've got some really good players in there, like Sotelo Asgard, Milanik Ali, Carlton Morris, Mark Guinness, Thomas Kaminski, the goalkeeper, Tanner Mengi, Osai Jones, who scored. Some really good players in there, Luton, and you weren't expecting a sort of a normal side who are in the bottom three kind of scrapping for their lives. They're going to make it very difficult for you at the Kenny. They're going to make it tight. They're going to make it compact. It's going to be very difficult for you to play your football. And that's exactly what Bristol City found. First half, sorry, it was a relatively even game. Luton probably had the better chances. There was one Max O'Leary save, which was an unbelievable Max O'Leary save, where Cam Pring clears it and then hits Tello Asgard pretty much in the chest, and it looks like it's going to head into the corner. It's a brilliant save by Max to keep it out. He has no idea about it. Tello Asgard has no idea about it, but it looked like it was going to go in. It didn't, thankfully. Cam Pring, though, goes off injured minute 20. Hayden Roberts comes in, and obviously Hayden Roberts I have no problems with in terms of a foot sort of filling in, but you lose a little bit of sort of attacking sort of quality, the directness, and especially in this game, the physicality you lose, and felt like that was evident at points after Hayden Roberts came on. He filled in on the left-hand side of the back three. First half comes about, a little bit of momentum towards the end of the first half for Luton. Tello Asgard has a free kick which goes over. Bristol City first half, no sort of chances of big note. There was a Naki Wells shot which went just wide. Marcus McGuane had an effort which was saved. That was pretty much it. Tello Asgard hits a shot from the edge of the box, minute number 49. It goes through Max O'Leary. I mean, it's not great from Max, but the conditions, the weather doesn't help him, and it's a good strike from a good player. Maybe Max is also slightly unsighted with a large number of players in front of him, but it isn't. He doesn't cover himself in glory, Max, with that one. And at that point, you're going, so I've been here before away from home. A lack of sort of conviction, cutting edge, lack of control, maybe perhaps, and a little bit of momentum for the opposition, and then bang, 1-0 down, goal conceded, and then so difficult to come back into the game. But we did that through George Tanner. Again, it was a bit of a one-off. There wasn't a sort of period of pressure where we went, okay, now here comes the goal, where we did against Sunderland to more of an extent. There wasn't that. It was a brilliant effort from George Tanner. The ball comes out to him, and brilliant first time hit, and right into the corner. George Tanner only scores really good goals because clearly he can't score the tap-ins, which we'll come on to in a little bit. But Luton hit straight back 7 minutes after, minute number 59. Carlton Morris. Oh my God, this goal is genuinely horrendous to concede. It is, and I don't want this to come across as disrespectful. It is very Luton, isn't it? It is so it's so Championship, this goal. It's a set piece from the left hand side. Ball goes in. I think it's Liam Walsh. it's a complete goalmouth scramble. We just can't get it away. Carlton Morris, I think, pins Rob Dickey and kind of swivels a little bit and hits it when the ball does fall to him after Mengi kind of flicks it on a little bit. It is a complete goalmouth scramble. We can't get it clear. We don't find a way to just get the ball, get rid of the ball. And Carlton Morris, player of his quality, experience, he finds a way to put them into the back of the net. We respond with a double substitution: Sinclair Armstrong for Max Bird. Sinclair Armstrong for Naki Wells, George Earthy for Max Bird, in the hope of trying to get back into the game. But then it is a third goal for Luton, which effectively kills the game off. And at 3-1 down in minute number 72, so difficult for the away side to get back into the game at Kenilworth Road. Ball goes to Isaiah Jones. He drives through. Dickey's up against, I think, Milanic Ali. It might be someone else. I think it's Milanic Ali. He kind of pins him a little bit. The ball kind of goes through, and Isaiah Jones has got a free run at the goal. Zach Varner tries to come across and cover, doesn't make it in time, and it's a good finish. To be fair to Isaiah Jones, hits the bar, hits the woodwork. Hits the bar, hits the post, and then goes into the back of the net. It's a good finish, slightly fortunate, but in that moment, it's pressure. It's a pressure moment for Isaiah Jones, a pressure moment for Luton. He manages to find a way to wrap the game up. I'm going to be completely honest, zoned out last 5 minutes because I was very focused in on the other fixtures. This game was pretty much over, and it was at that point it was a little bit a case of, can we minimise the goal difference, maybe, and maybe lose by 1 instead of 2, and that would actually not be the worst result ever. Plymouth won 3-1 against Coventry, so that's -2 on Coventry's part. That's -2 on our part today. Only -1 on Middlesbrough's part. Could that be potentially significant come game week 46? We don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, generally, I think a little bit of a reminiscent of Pompey away in a tight ground. We tried to play our football. The weather conditions were not nice. It was wet. It was damp. It didn't feel like a game for some of these players, like Marcus McQuain, like potentially Hayden Roberts. But again, Hayden Roberts was forced into proceedings. Mehmeti just didn't really get into the game, particularly Mehmeti. I thought McQuain actually had a pretty good game, but yeah, I think it was a bit of a. I don't know. We lacked the physicality, couldn't step onto them, and then the goals. The second goal in particular, you go 1-0, you go 1-0 down, you bring it back, and then 7 minutes later, just kind of see out the storm, weather it a little bit, and then to concede that sort of goal, just not good. However, we knew this was going to be a tricky game. We knew they were going to be very physical. We haven't really dealt with it enough time. Whenever there's been a physical test thrown at us away from home, we've not really dealt with it that well. Derby away comes to mind, Pompey away comes to mind, and this one as well. You can add to that collection. Haven't really dealt with those sort of physical games away from home very well, which is a disappointment. But yeah, a really disappointing result, a really disappointing display. Another defeat away from home. If we are to go into the playoffs, still sort of might. We're going to have to fix up away from home because this run of form away from home is not good. 1 win in 2025 away from home, that was at Millwall. But yeah, a really disappointing display, a really disappointing game. The bigger context of things, still 4 points ahead of 7th place, 2 games to go, Leeds away next, and then game 46 where Middlesbrough play Coventry, we play Preston. Whatever happens there, we don't even need to win that home game against Preston. Anyway, yeah, a really disappointing display away from home again, and it doesn't get much easier because we're going to Ellen Road next. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. A disappointing afternoon at the Kenny, but the bigger context of things, maybe not the worst sort of set of results around us.